Good morning, everyone. And as you can see, I have the same topic with the exam, but actually we use different versions of textbook. I will use Far East, so it will be different kind of version of it. And I want to talk about my motivation. I think everyone has how do you want to join this program? That's a big problem, right? Especially you have to spend lots of money. But actually, this is my fourth year in teaching high school English. And however, in the past 3 years, I have been teaching the third graders. So under the pressure of entrance exam, actually I feel my English classes was quite boring. Lecture, cramming. So I cannot find my love of English teaching again. So it's very good that I have this opportunity to do this program. So I applied for this program, and I think that I really got a lot of inspiration from this program. So now, as you can see, we have the same motivation because textbook is something that we have to teach, right? And also, at least from the feedback from my students, they complain about they hate textbook reading. So we have been thinking that, how can we make the textbook reading more interesting or actively? And this is the first motivation. The next one is, actually, I don't know how about your students, but for my students, they will think that, teacher, Faye, you didn't finish this lesson. Why? I finished. Because you don't have a lecture. Oh, they will say, no, you didn't finish. So you have to have a lecture. They will think that, okay, the teacher finished this lesson, so I learned this lesson. So we will think, actually, students should take back the role of reading, so they have to read it by themselves. So I will start from this activity, try to tell them that actually you should be responsible for your own reading, not I. Okay. So here, actually, in my proposal, we talk about 3 strategies. First one is inquiry-based strategy or inquiry-based learning, and I think you have a lot of ideas from Helen's speech. And after Helen's speech, I have been thinking about how to remodel my activity and to make it perfect. And so it's very wonderful. And actually, inquiry-based learning is about that when you are asking questions, when you are seeking the solution, and then when you are seeking the answer, actually you are constructing your own knowledge. So I will take the textbook, lesson 10. It's a word of hack. So it talks about 4 kinds of hacks in this lesson. So how can we combine the textbook with the inquiry-based strategy? So I will choose the most simple one is listening and coding questions. So here I will share my procedure. So first is I will post 4 pictures of the hack and write down the title on the board. But actually I prepared PowerPoint for this, but I think that's it's not so convenient, so I just post 4 pictures. It's very easy, right? You don't have to move the computer and spend a lot of time. So it's very easy. Just post 4 pictures on the board and write down the title, a word of hack. And next, I will divide the whole class into 5 groups. Actually, the number of my students is about 38 to 45. So I will divide it into 5 groups, about 7 to 8 persons a group. And I will distribute a poster. And when you can buy the poster, it's expensive, right? You can buy mahjong paper, cheaper. And you can just post it anyway. And I will prepare the marker for them. So after they in a group, they can have the poster and the markers. So they will write down any questions that they have when they look at the 4 pictures, and then when they look at the title. So, and next, I will explain the 6 question types and we'll write it on the board. So to make sure that they can go back and see what kind of question it is. And then the 6 question types is about 8 questions. It means that actually you can find the answer from the reading text. And the second one is BK questions. It means that the questions can be answered from the background knowledge. And the third one is I questions. It means that the answer can be inferred from the reading text. And next one is D question. It means that the answer should need further discussion. And next one is RF question. It needs further research. And next one is hard question. It means what kind of question it is. Something like that. And students like to ask hard questions. Okay. So I will play the CD players and then make them to listen to the reading test twice. And why I play the CD player? Because as you know, when you tell students, okay, now read the reading test twice, they will keep, huh? They don't read. So you have to play the CD player. They will read, they will listen. You can make sure they are really reading something. Okay, and after listening to the test, actually group C can switch their post. Like I'm group 1, I pass my poster to the group 2. Okay, so you can get another poster and you can try to answer every question that you have on the poster. And try to code the question type. Like this is a hard question. This is a question. And then they can, of course, they can look at their reading test. Okay, so here are 2 examples. Maybe it's not so clear. It's 2 examples of their posters. And how about after the post, they write down the answer? Actually, each group, they can present their question and their answer. And actually, you will find that it's very interesting. They will debate. No, I think it's our question. I think it's the question. So in the process, actually, they will think about, oh, is really this a hard question, the question, or what kind of question is this? Okay, and actually, in this form, I conduct this activity in the form of competition. So it's very good that you can control the time and the good class management. For example, I would say, the first group finish the paper, raise your hand. Okay, 1 extra point. So students will do things very quickly. And if all groups you can sit down well, okay, raise your hand, you get 1 point. So this is also a good way when we are doing activity, we worry about the class management, time consuming, right? So you can in the form of competition. And the first group, it's according to a rewarding policy. Okay. So next I will talk about graphic organizer. I think you have a great lot of ideas from Elaine's presentation. So I will just put quickly about my graphic organizer. And the first one is sequence organizer, or we can call it story map. And the example lesson is lesson 4, the cause of gratefulness in Far East version. And lesson 8, Apollo and Daphne's mythology. So, actually, every student can have a handout of the story map. And before they got the story map, I will explain the basic elements of the story. Like the first part is the background, including setting, time, place. And the second one is character. And then is the problem. When we talk about story, there is a problem, right? And the next one is the solution. And between the problem and the solution, there were some thoughts or events. So this is the basic idea of a story. So I will make the whole class into 5 groups. Of course, group work again. And make them listen to the reading test twice. So after listening to the reading test, I will make group discussion. So sometimes teacher may have a problem, and the classroom is too small. We cannot have the discussion, right? So I just try to make 3 groups in the classroom, and 2 groups out of the classroom. I think it's okay. Okay. Yeah. So, and the student will find that it's interesting, as long as you don't have to sit on a chair. They love it. And actually, each group I will have an assigned item. Like, okay, group 1, you are background knowledge. Group 2, you are about character. So they have to discuss, and they have to choose how to present the assigned topic. So some students will draw the pictures like what you see on the board, and some students will play it out. And then they love to. Actually, I think for teenagers in this generation, they like to show off. Yeah. So they love to play something like this. Okay, and after the activity, I will collect the story map back. And you can just draw the picture, you can write down something, that's whatever, but I won't correct the grammatic error, since my focus is not to develop their writing proficiency. So I think it's okay to make some grammatic. At least you can try to write some English. Okay, next one is about, this is an example from my student. It's Apollo and Daphne. So he will draw the pictures of Apollo and Daphne something. Okay. Next one is about concept development and organizer. Oh, and the example sentence is lesson 7, learning to keep you cool. So actually, I designed the graphic organizer based on my textbook. As you know, in the Far East version, at the end of the reading, I think there's a reader's compact. It's about the structure of this lesson. So you can design this, or you can modify this according to your student's level. Take my student, for example, about low intermediate level. So I will just use blank instead of sentence or paragraph. So I will have some items then to choose, just in case they don't know which one is the correct one. So I will just make it simple and easy. And this one is the individual work. So they have to finish it after listening to, let's finish the form. But how to make it exciting? The first 10 will get a reward. And it's about your rewarding policy. Yeah, I have my own rewarding policy, so they love it. They will finish it. But I will say that if you get the right answer, you can get 1 mark. But if you finish it quickly, but you cannot get any. So just make sure you have the right answer. Okay. And actually, you can see here comes the website. I think you have that on your manual. This website provides lots of free graphic organizers, and they are all free. So you can choose whatever you want, and you can download it. And actually, I have a full application about graphic organizer. Actually, I think we can, as a teacher, we can use the graphic organizer to teach English composition. For example, in the story map, it's about description. So you can know the basic elements of a story, like background knowledge, characters, problems, resolution. Yeah. So after this graphic organizer, maybe we can have a short composition, make them to make a paragraph. Or you can say lesson 7 is about exposition. So you can teach students how to develop a concept. And I think I will conduct it after this summer. Yeah, after having my baby. I promise I will do that. Okay. So this is a further application. You can use it for the 3rd graders. They have the English composition class. Okay, here comes some other activities that also are inspired from this program, Simon Fraser University program. The first one is name card. And it's very interesting that in the first class, actually, this idea is from Simon Fraser. You can see that in Simon Fraser University, teachers bring lots of sets. They have their own kit, crayons, markers, posters, or whatever. So I think it's good. I should prepare my own one. So I buy lots of things. You can buy it from Dollar Tree or in Taiwan, 10块商店. It's cheap. Yeah. Yeah, it's very cheap. And when you ask students to bring something, I hate that. Somebody forget that. Somebody forget that. And you will get angry. Okay, no activity today. Let's have a lecture. Right? So I prepare my own one, just in case they forgot something, and I will get angry about that. So I prepare my own one. And actually, we can remember that in the Far East version, lesson 1 is about the star sign, right? So we can start from the lesson, star sign. You can draw your star sign or whatever, and give them one short English instruction. So these are all the name cards made by my students. And then they will say, oh, what kind of, you have stickers. Oh, you will use lots of things to decorate their name card. And in the following semester, you can use this name card. Okay, you can know them more. So this is a very good idea. Of course, this is ideas also from Simon Fraser. I allow students when they are not ready to speak. So I remember one student just take a name card without saying anything. I'll say, you don't know what to say, right? Just say thank you. Thank you. That's okay. Yeah, I don't want to scare them. So this is a name card from my students. And the next one is the ABC poems. Actually, in our lesson 11, it's about, I think we have poems every textbook, every semester, right? So, and this is very, I think it's fun activity. Lesson 11 is about love matters, so about 2 love poems. And the first one actually is about individual work or group work. So after reading the poems, I will just kind of translate the poems because I'm not so literature person. So I just can translate the poems. So after the lesson, I will design. Then students will choose. You can reverse this poem. So this is the simple one. I just take the noun out of noun. And the advanced one, you can take out the noun and adjective. So here I will share some of my students' work. It means, actually the poem is about a white rose. And then I will say the student said, a girl. The girl whispers of dreams, and the adult breathes of life. Oh, the girl is a fairy, and the adult is a human. But I send you a white brown bread with the sugar on its top. For the love that is fantastic and essential has a kiss of desire on the lips. This is a very nice try, although we cannot see the connection between a girl and a dog. Yeah, but I think it's a really, really wonderful try. So I will choose this one. But I think the student tried to compare adult words and the children's word, but he didn't know use which one of the words. But it's okay. And as for group work, we got ABC poem. It means A is for what, B is for what, C is for what. You can choose every word that starts with this alphabet about love. So a group maybe 5 or 6 they can create alone because we have to from A to Z. That's a lot. And after they finish the poem, I will post it on the classroom. So that's part of their classroom decoration. So post about 1 week. You have to look at everyone. And after that, everyone can have a sticker. They are just like this. And then you can have a sticker. And I will, in my class, I will post all of the poems on the blackboard. They can choose their favorite one. You just put your sticker on it. And here comes their number 1 poem. Actually, this poem is made by the group of boys, and high school boys. The content is not so appropriate. But I will just read the first 1 and 2, just first one. If you are interested, you can look at it. A is for adult movie is good for us. B is for banana is my style. But this is their favorite one. And I was too much surprised. They will use some sentence pattern like too big to hold. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, so I think I will give this number 1. So it's very good. But the content is really not so appropriate. But at least for this poor advanced or poor performance boys, they will try. You can look at group of boys. They are looking at the dictionary. Hey, oh, so excited. So I think it's good. At least they try to read some English words. Okay, so about my evaluation, I have 2 short questionnaires for my students after the exam. And the first one is about 3 scale questions and 2 open questions. And questionnaire 2 is about 12 3 scale questions and 2 open questions. It's very short questionnaire. And we can see as a result, the first 1 and 2 is about inquiry-based learning. And about 70 or about 80% the students think that actually inquiry-based learning can help them to comprehend the reading text by themselves. And about 80% think it's interesting. And for story map, they will say that the presentation of story map make English class more interesting. About almost 80% students agree that. And next one is story map help me comprehend the reading text by myself. It's over 50, but I think it's okay. And the next one is about 90% students think that the teacher utilizes the various teaching methods and activities in English class. And that the teacher can create a joyful and harmonious atmosphere in English classroom. Okay, next is the student comment from the open questions. Like group discussions really helpful for me. English presentation is a great challenge to me, but it's unforgettable. Or you can see that I love group discussions. I think the in-class activity are great, something like that. So this is the comment from the open questions. Okay, so here is my personal adaptation in my class. Actually, my high school is in Huajiang, and our entrance score is about 398, and the PR rate is 81, according to the score of 210. But I think layer English label about low intermediate, not intermediate. So my purpose of this activity is to make them have more interest in English instead of develop their literacy skills right away. So I think it's okay. As long as they like English, they will start to learn by themselves. And then finally, So here it comes my personal reflection about this activity and after I conduct this action plan. The first one is just focus one or two skills only in an activity. This idea is greatly inspired from Simon Fraser's program. Actually, teacher may ask, what if students, they talk in Chinese when you are in a group? But I remember, I think it's Catherine, from one of the teachers from SFU University. He said that your focus is not speaking. Why can't they just discuss in their native language? I said, wow, yes. So when they are discussing in their own native language, actually you can find that they have more ideas. But I asked them to present in English, so it's okay. They have time to prepare. But when they have discussions, they can use their own native language, and they have more ideas. So I think it's okay. Since my focus is not speaking ability, so I think it's okay and it's wonderful. They will love the discussion. As long as you don't have to sit on a chair and listen to you what you are talking about, they will love it. And the second one is take care of different student needs. It's just like what Alan has mentioned. Actually, you have to see what kind of different students need in your class. So I will have both individual group activities. And next one is be a responsible supervisor. Actually, this is about how interesting. When we are conducting activity, teacher will complain that, oh, they don't get involved. Why? Because teacher will sit here. Okay, 5 minutes. But I think if you want to make the activity more efficient, you have to keep going and to make sure are they doing what they have to do. If you keep going and looking around there and give them some comments, give them some ideas, they will keep discussion and they will know they have to do what they have to do. So I think as a teacher, having activity in class doesn't mean that you will have lots of free time here. Again, you are no, I think you are busy because you have to keep going and go through everyone to make sure they are doing the right thing. So I think that's all about. And here, it comes the next picture we have at the closing ceremony at Simon Fraser University. And I really have a lot of inspiration, no matter in my teaching or in my life experience. And I hope that all of you can have this opportunity to join this group. Okay, that's about my presentation. Thank you.